Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my booktube channel, Life Worth Reading. Disclaimer, I am a little bit sick, as you can probably tell. Please do try and ignore my voice. It's a little bit annoying, I know, I'm aware, but I really wanted to film this video, so I'm just getting it out of the way. I'm really sorry about that, but let's get started. So, we're already on the later half of November, but if you didn't know, November is non-fiction November, and it's where most people try and read. Some people read only non-fiction in November, but a lot of people try to read as much non-fiction as they can. And let me tell you, I haven't read enough non-fiction this year, actually, but I do want to share my non-fiction TBR. This doesn't have like a time limit. It's not specifically for this year. It's not specifically for next year. These are just 10 non-fiction books that I want to read soon, whenever it happens. I have read 2 non-fictions this month already, and I actually didn't do that on purpose, but it happened. And so I wanted to share a couple of other books that I want to read soon, whenever it is. The first book that I have on my nonfiction TBR is called How to Be a Good Creature, a Memoir in 13 Animals by Cy Montgomery and Rebecca Green. This showed up on my SCRIBD page because I just recently read, that's one of the nonfiction books that I read in November, and it's called Late Migrations, A History of Love and Loss by Margaret Rankel. And I really enjoyed this memoir essay type. It's a mixture of personal memories, a lot of nature descriptions, and it turned me on to a subgenre, I guess, of nonfiction, which is nature-based nonfiction and nature essays. And so this one appeared, and it's about this woman called Cy Montgomery, and she has traveled the world. She's an adventurous. She knows a lot about nature, and she picked 13 animals and their quirks and their personalities to show how to be a good creature. And I thought it just looked so cute. The cover is so cute. I don't know, it's short. It seems like a really cute read. I love animals, I love nature, and I want to know how to be a good creature. So that is the first book that I have on my TBR, and it's probably the cutest one. I just hope that it is as cute inside as it is on the cover. Getting into the subgenre of memoirs, I absolutely love memoirs. I really do, and I have a lot that I want to read. These are just 2 that I'm excited to read soon. And I actually forgot to put in another one that I've been meaning to read for a long time. Okay, so that one, the one that it's not on this list, but I do want to read, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I've been meaning to read this book for a long time. It's about the Stanford rape situation with Brock Turner, and it just seems like a very emotional read that I just haven't had the courage to read yet, honestly, but I do want to. So that's another one, but that's not official on this list, so forget about that one. But the one that I do want to read is Making a Scene by Constance Wu. She is an Asian American actress. I actually don't know a lot about her, but I actually love reading memoirs about people that I don't know a lot about, because it's a good way to learn about those people. In a case, I've read Hola Papi by John Paul Brommer, and I had no idea who the hell John Paul Brommer was, but now I'm a fan. I love that man because of the memoir, and I love reading celebrity memoirs, even though I don't know the people. It's fine. But Constance Wu is an actress. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, that's it, and also Fresh Off the Boat, which I know a little bit about, but I've never fully watched the show. And I want to know about her life. Why? Because I'm nosy. I love learning about people's lives. That's it. I love it. And the other memoir that I want to read is Finding Me by Viola Davis. This just came out this year. And Viola Davis, she is a very impressive actress. She is one of the best in the business at the moment, and I want to know about her life. I want to know how she got here, why she wanted to pursue acting. Like I've mentioned, I'm nosy, okay? I love learning about people and about their childhood and about their like upcoming. It's something that's very interesting to me. So that's one that I want to read for sure. And those are the 3 memoirs that I want to get to. The first nonfiction book that I want to read is in the self-improvement, I guess, and it's the only one that I own physically. It's not mine, it's my brother's, but it's still in the house, and that is obviously Atomic Habits by James Clear. I mean, this has been everywhere, right? For the last couple of years, everyone has read it, and it seems like one of the only self-improvement books that I've seen that has an actual good rating, as in that it's actually very useful, because a lot of this self-improvement non-fictions are just telling you things that you already know and things that aren't really that useful. And usually I'm not into these types of books, but I have it, and I want to read it to see what I think of it, to see if it is helpful or not. And this is, wow, this is way too bright. Wow. Okay, that's better. And I want to read it. I want to know how to create good habits and how to break off bad ones. Let me know if you've read this book and if it actually helped you or not, because I'm always a little bit skeptical of this men writing self-improvement books. I don't know. Next up, also in the same genre, we have How to Be Alone If You Want to and Even If You Don't Want to by Lana Moore. And I love being alone, and I'm alone a lot, but I feel like I don't know a lot about being alone, and I feel like I don't appreciate it enough. And it just seems like an interesting topic to read about. I wouldn't say that it's exactly self-improvement. I think it's more comfort and healing to know a little bit more about why you should be alone maybe, or how you can love being alone and not feel very damaged by it. I feel like it's also, everyone knows that it's important to have social relationships and to be out with other people, but I feel like it's equally important to know how to be alone and how to appreciate being alone. And therefore, this is a book that I'm really excited to read, because I want to see what it says and if it can help that situation or not. And I'm just curious to know if I can learn more about being alone or if it'll be totally useless. Next up, I've also figured out that I love essay collections, just random assessment of stories, essays, things that authors have learned that they want to share, funny anecdotes. And for this one, I want to try Bad Vibes Only and Other Things That I Bring to the Table by Nora McInerney. This author also has a podcast called Terrible Things for Asking, which I think I've heard about, but I've never heard. I'm not a podcast girly, I'm afraid, but this just sounded super interesting, like a fun essay collection to listen to. And I am a bit of a pessimist. I'm a pessimist for myself, actually, because for others, I'm very optimistic, and I love when good things happen to other people, and I'm always hopeful that the people around me have good things coming and good things happening. But I'm very pessimistic when it comes to myself. So I feel like sometimes I do bring a little bit of the bad vibes, but it's like from me to me. So I want to see if I can relate to this author at all and to this essay collection, because it does seem super interesting. Also, my battery is flashing and I don't have another one. So I'm gonna need to charge this one before I can continue. So if it looks different when I come back, that's why. The next nonfiction book that I have on my TBR is also one in the same essence as a Bad Vibes Only, and that is Let's Talk About Hard Things by Anna Sale. This is coincidentally also a podcast author, not author, podcast lady. I can't remember the name of it, but they have a podcast named Sex, Death, and Other Things, I guess. And this is a collection of essays about the hard things in life, and where she talks, hopefully in a comedic way, about these hard things and how they impact us throughout our lives, but how necessary they are, and how there are things that will happen to every one of us. I'm just really excited to read all of these essay collections. I think that is something that I definitely really love reading, and I'm just hoping to find new favorite authors of those. Next up, we have a classic, and that is All About Love by Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks is a feminist theorist. Unfortunately, she has passed now, but all her books are classics, and I really want to read this one. They say it's an essential book to read if you want to learn more about love and relationships, and about what you deserve in a good relationship, and about what a good relationship even is. And I do love theories. I find that very interesting. I love reading about relationships, how to maintain healthier ones. And even though I am in a pretty happy relationship myself, I think that it never hurts to read about how you can be a better partner, and how you can make yourself and your partner feel better and safer in the relationship that you are in. And I feel like this is an essential book if you want to learn more about relationships, and I'm very excited to see what I think of Bell Hooks' writing and about her theories, because she was a very celebrated author, and I do want to try out their books. Next up, I do want to read another really popular non-fiction book and collection of essays, and that is The Anthropocene, reviewed by John Green. I was never really a John Green fan, not a hater either, but as I was growing up, I just never really liked his books or felt very drawn to his books. But I do love me some nonfiction, and this is about human beings, about our history, about ourselves, about our relationships with each other. And people have said that this is a very good book and very insightful look into us. And I think it's going to be very exciting. I've heard it's also a great audiobook to listen to. Most of these books I'm going to listen to on audio, because that's how I like to consume my nonfiction. But especially this one, they say, is a very good audiobook that I am definitely excited to get to. And I hope that I find it a good book, because as I said, John Green just wasn't the fiction YA author for me, but maybe he'll be the nonfiction author for me. And finally, the last book that I have on my nonfiction TBR is also a book I should have gotten to years ago, but I still haven't. And that is In Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. And this is a memoir depicting the author's very violent relationship that she had with another woman, and the trauma that has come from that relationship. And I am so excited to get to this book. I still haven't tried this author's books. Everyone says that their writing is incredible, and specifically this memoir, because it is set up in a way that is very different to other memoirs. So it's built as a dream house, and each room has its own trauma and its own memories associated with it. So it's a very differently constructed memoir, and I love when authors find new ways to tell their own stories. I love a new experimental way of storytelling, and I think that this will definitely be one that I'll really remember. It'll be a very memorable read, and I think it was very brave for the author to put themselves out there and to talk about such a difficult relationship. But I'm not gonna say excited, but I'm gonna say excited. I am excited to read this book, because I should have gotten to it years ago, and I still haven't. But hopefully soon will be the time for me to read it. I feel like I talked about more than 10, but if I did, I'm sorry. But those are the top 10 nonfiction books that are on my TBR. I only currently own one physically. I don't have a lot of physical books, you already know that, so a lot of these books are on SCRIBD. Audiobooks that I'll be listening to the next time that I want to listen to a nonfiction book. And I want to know what book you're most excited to read in nonfiction November, if there are any nonfiction recommendations that you have for the things that I've liked and that I've mentioned, memoirs, essay collections, all of that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.